Do you remember when that day was, the day when you fell in love with the automobile? Ever wished you had one from then, now? Restoring one, finding it difficult to get parts? Want to be ready to drive yours next hot August night? Now is the time to start getting it ready, and RDW Automotive can help you do it all. It's shops like this one that make me proud to live in Reno. Our next business is named after the husband and wife team that own and operate it. RDW Automotive, standing for Ron and Dianna Wheeler. One more time, you may think you know this toy store, but listen up. You probably only know half of the story of what they do. Please welcome Ron Wheeler to the show. Ron, thanks for coming in today. The first question I have for you is, how long has RDW Automotive been in Reno?
I've been in Reno. I've personally been in Reno since 1972, so my concern for the community is huge. But RDW has been in operation since 1990.
And how did you even get into the automotive industry? What made you decide that one?
History prevails. I've done a family research, and my generation, and it goes way back in automotive repair, back into the early 1900s. But in high school, I had this drive to work on cars and repair my own vehicles. And my first car was given to me by my parents, and it was broke down and said, if you can fix it, you can have it.
Well, and you just mentioned genetics. That explains a lot about my now 6-year-old son, that at 2.5, he could walk up, touch the emblem of a car, and tell you, "Oh, Daddy, Porsche." I hinted that people may only know half of what you do, and it'll be hard to fit it all in the shows. There's so much to talk about that you do, so let's get right to it. The first question I want to ask is, what makes and models do you specialize in?
Well, our specialty is a Ford Mercury product line, and we restore and repair 64.5 to 73 Mustangs. That's our specialty, and that's what built our business up in the beginning. But now we've expanded to performance tuning and aftermarket upgrades on the new generation Mustangs, Shelbys, and we go beyond that, and we restore the Cougars and the Falcons and even the 55 to 57 T-Birds.
And one of my personal favorites, the Shelbys.
Oh, man.
Boy, if you haven't fallen in love with one of those, you might not really be a car person. Now, I thought originally, and I've known you've been there for years, and again, supported your business and referred people to your business, but I only knew you as classic car parts. And don't get me wrong, thank goodness you do, because it's just terrific what you do for our community and our Hot August Night events. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to restoration, you do almost everything in the process, and I wasn't aware of that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. The only thing I do not do personally in-house is body and paint, but we connect the customer to the body and paint shop that they could budget. But what we do is we prepare that car for the body and paint shop. We allow them to do the painting, and then we reassemble that car completely. We can do everything on that car, interior, detailing, total mechanical restoration.
All the cosmetics inside, all the wiring under the hood, the electricals, all of the parts. I mean,
that car will be a brand new car if the customer chooses to be.
Oh, it's really exciting. There's a lot of people that really want to do something like that, and they think, that they've got to figure out who to take it to for this and who to take it to for that. And by the time they're done, it just seems overwhelming to have one place that you could go to do all of it and know that the quality is going to be this extraordinary, and I mean that. That's a genuine compliment to your business and your commitment to your quality and your customers. But you also do a little bit more than that. Recently, I guess, I found out that you also repair some newer cars and not just American, right?
Absolutely. We've expanded out, and a lot of our customers that have the Mustangs and other vehicles that we restore have found out that we also have history of repairing cars. So if they have other vehicles, the family vehicles, and they have problems with them, it can be a one-stop place.
Well, and it's really interesting how that happens. It's not what you initially started out necessarily to do, but your customers who've just enjoyed your quality said, "Would you please work on my other car?"
That's right.
I know it's not your specialty now, but they just wanted to go somewhere that they could trust and that was going to do the job right.
Yeah, both my guys, one is a Toyota trained, has 20 years almost experience with those, as well as the other tech that I have has a variety of experiences, so that's very good.
What would you consider the most important part of your business?
Well, from the beginning, I had to make sure that the customer was satisfied. And every year since 1990, when I started the business out of my house, I had to make sure that the customer was satisfied. And without my satisfied customers, I would not be alive with my business. So that is priority. I have to make sure they're satisfied with the product.
Well, you said it, being alive, and through this economy, it really takes a quality business to thrive. I mean, and not just, survive, but thrive and grow during this type of a situation. And I've witnessed you doing that.
Absolutely.
For the do-it-yourselfer, what kind of part selection do you carry?
The majority of our parts showroom, we have a 1,500 square foot showroom full of parts, and the majority of it is their early Mustang product, trimming and accessories, and we're now moving into the newer generation Mustang and Shelby parts.
We talked briefly about why someone would want to come to you. They may think that they saw it for a little bit less somewhere else, but you had mentioned when we were talking before that lower prices is often achieved by using inferior products, and that you mentioned that you can only use the highest quality products because you stand behind your work. And tell us a little bit more about that if you could.
Well, any shop here in town can tell you that if they have to do warranty work, they're losing money. So I install what I sell, and if I install inferior products, I could not afford to replace them every year. So I've chosen to not supply cheap products that they can buy through the internet and stock the more expensive, the quality part. And that way, the customer's satisfied in the long run.
Well, and they get their money's worth. One last thing, if we could, running out of time, is we talk about businesses and not just their quality and their commitment to the customers, but their commitment to our community. And you and your wife are exactly that. Please share with our listeners how much you give back to our community.
The community is very important to us, and more than income, it's a giving. And we supply and support Evelyn Mount, Northern Nevada Food Bank, and even the Humane Society that is struggling big time right now. And I'm a huge leader and volunteer in our own church that provides a lot of community support also.
Quality businesses that care about you and the community. Ron, it's a pleasure to have you on our show, and please tell them how to get hold of you.
Thank you, Mitch, for having me on the show. And my contact number is 323-1362, area code 775, of course. Email is rdwmustangs@hotmail.com. And then our website is being built right now. It's rdwauto.com.
And you can find them on our preferred business listings and the RDW,